You're a middle school math teacher. You and I both know that we have to prepare our students for the state test. If we don't already know each other, my name is Kathy Martin, and I'm the creator of the Prealgebra Teachers Middle School Math Membership. We are your one-stop shop for everything you need to teach middle school math. If state testing makes you want to glaze over, hide under a rock because it really is the worst, you are not alone. But preparing and having to take whatever state test that your students have to take is just part of the job. So what are some things that we can do to make testing or practicing for the state test quick and easy and painless? I have 3 tips to make test prep in 10 minutes or less doable. Okay, so first thing is I want you to start. If you're watching this video sometime in January, February, maybe March, start spiraling your practice. And what that means is if you use a bell ringer or a daily warm-up or whatever it is you want to call it, I call it, actually in my class, it's called the daily flash, which is basically my 4-question warm-up. And I call it the daily flash because we do it daily in a flash. So start adding my warm-ups every day are 4 questions. So I will have at least 2 questions based on whatever it is we are learning in class currently. And then maybe the other 2 questions that we haven't seen in a couple months. So maybe it's, stuff that we've done at the beginning of the year, integers, distributive property, like whatever it is that you do at the beginning of the year, slowly start bringing it back because your students may or may not have forgotten some of these concepts. And don't forget vocabulary. So start using some of those earlier terminologies that maybe you haven't talked about in a while, but that's an easy way. 10 minutes or my warm up is definitely 10 minutes or less each day because I don't want to spend too much time on it. And it's already built into my classroom time, right? We already do warm up every day. Let me just add in 1 or 2 questions each day, starting March-ish, just to kind of get that ball rolling. Okay. Number 2, time-saving tip. If you're using stations already in your classroom, if you are not using, I highly recommend that you use. If you're wondering, what is a station? What are you talking about? This could be interesting. I want to learn more. I have a free training in the description box below. Feel free to sign up for it. You get to print out a certificate of 1 hour professional development. I give you a couple of freebies and I go really deeply into what stations are, what they can be, how to manage behaviors, all the good stuff in this free training. Okay. But that's besides the point. Using your stations time. So if you use somewhere between 2 to 4 different types of activities for stations like I do, maybe one of those stations can be a review concept. Maybe it could be, I'm using integers as an example because we spend a lot of time at the beginning of the year with that, and students really struggle with integers consistently. So I guess I'm just using that because that's on my brain. So, maybe while you have a station about, I don't know, like the quadratic equation, because that's what you're teaching right now, maybe have another station activity all about integers because we did that at the beginning, and that's a really, back to basics concept that your students really need to continue practicing because for sure there's going to be integer questions on the test, right? And then finally, number 3, if you use an exit ticket, plug a question in there from the beginning of the year in your exit ticket, or, as one of that, like add in a final question on each day's homework as well. I guess that's tip number 4, but using your exit ticket or maybe plugging in 1 or 2 questions from your homework that you assign maybe every day as a review question. Easy, 10 minutes or less, state test prepping that's not scary. It's already kind of all built into your regular schedule anyway, just to make it work so that when you're really going deep into test prepping, kids they've already started to see things. They already understand, like, oh yeah, I remember this, so it's a lot less for you to do and a lot less for them. It feels less pressure, right? So I hope that you enjoyed test prepping in 10 minutes or less. My name is Kathy Martin, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.